Hi, this is Kristi Woodmar from Rasmussen Diamonds. I'm here just to go over some quick do's and don'ts on jewelry. So I thought I'd break it down a little bit. People ask me oftentimes, what should I look for? What should I ask about? So I thought I'd break it down a little bit into when you're first buying jewelry and then after you own the jewelry. So when you're buying jewelry, one of the things that I tell people is do some research. There's a lot of stuff to find, but don't get too confused with all the letters and numbers. There's so much information that's out there on the internet, and not all of it is true. Not all of it is accurate. So do some research, and probably number one would be know your jeweler. Go and talk to people face to face, look at things in person, and actually know who it is that you're working with, because I think that there's a level of trust that you get that's very important when you're buying a significant piece of jewelry. The second thing that I always tell people is do some research, not just in terms of what you're buying, but what style you're after. So if you're buying a gift for someone else, it's good to know finger size. There are a couple ways to do it. If you're looking for an engagement ring, sometimes bringing someone else into a confidence by maybe asking a girlfriend or a family member if they could see, have they ever tried your ring on? Does it fit? What finger size do you wear? There's multiple different ways that you can do that. Also knowing, if you're going to buy like a necklace, what length, maybe just do some research and always just be a little observant about what they're wearing. Sometimes we'll ask questions like, is she real artistic? Does she like things that are very unique, or is she very classic? So just be observant. And then the other thing on the other end of that is I always say maybe don't go too on trend, especially if it's a significant piece of jewelry, because we think about jewelry as something that's going to last from generation to generation. So it's really nice to have something that's classic and timeless. And that's not to say that don't go with the trend that you're happy with right now, but sometimes when it's that really significant piece of jewelry, not too on trend. Then the other thing that I always do tell people is maybe have somewhat of a ballpark in terms of where you want to be, where you're comfortable in spending. We can do so many things to help you stay within that range. And I've had some of our guests that have said, I really love this, but it's way beyond my price point. Well, there are ways that we can sometimes get that piece. I think the most important is that we find the item that you want, that really speaks to you, and that is really gonna be the best gift that you can give. There are ways that we can work and find them to fit within your budget, so we ask that you just kind of come up with a ballpark. Once you own the jewelry, there are a couple things that we like to tell people. When you buy an engagement ring from us, we do pay for your first year of insurance right now, because we find that that's very important. That goes beyond any type of warranty information. But insurance is great. It's very, very reasonable. Usually with insurance, you want to do something like a separate rider if it's over $1,000. And like I said, it's very reasonable. That's going to cover loss or theft and just give you that peace of mind. When a guest buys an engagement ring from us, we just pay for it right away, because we know that when you're walking out the door, you're not thinking about, oh, I got to go to my insurance agent. You're thinking, how am I going to give this piece of jewelry? How am I going to propose? So we do that, but we're not insurance agents, so beyond that, we can't go any further. We always encourage people, keep that insurance going. It's very important, because a lot of people like to wear their jewelry 24/7. That's another one of my don'ts. Jewelry is made out of precious materials, precious metal, precious gemstones, and it really isn't meant to stand up 24/7. And believe me, I know people that wear them 24/7, and surprisingly, a lot of things do. But if you want that piece of jewelry to be handed down to the next generation, it's so good to take it off. I have been completely in the habit of taking all of my jewelry off as soon as I get home, and then when I leave it, it goes on again. I have a very safe spot. Another one of my do's, find a safe place that you can keep that jewelry, because when you're at home, it just doesn't need the abuse that, when I go home, I got kids, I'm doing dishes, I'm doing laundry, I'm cleaning my house. I've just got all these things that my jewelry does not need that abuse. And one of our do's is get it regularly checked. I often will tell our guests, try to come in at least twice a year. You can come in and have it cleaned anytime you want. You're going to a wedding, you're going to a special event, bring it in. It only takes us a couple minutes to get it all sparkled up and clean for you. We check everything under the microscope to make sure that everything is in good shape. But if you have a hard time remembering to do it twice a year, another good tip that I have is to do it every time you change your clocks. So, we're going to change our clocks twice a year for daylight savings, and just put a mental reminder, I got to go in and get my jewelry checked and cleaned. One of the other things that I will say in terms of the durability, most people don't realize that chlorine microscopically pits and wears away gold. Now, if you're in a hot tub once out of, twice out of the year, it's probably not going to make a big deal. But if you regularly go swimming or sit in a hot tub, it is very good to take your gold jewelry off. So we've seen some pretty bad damage, surprisingly, from regular wear in chlorine. And then the other thing that I will tell people is even, you come in and have us professionally check and clean it, but it's not a bad idea to invest in a nice jewelry cleaner at home. We do have in our store some pieces. This is a Dazzle Drop. This will last you for a very long time. They're only $9. Great stocking stuffer. Great little gift idea. So throw it in a basket of other things. And then we have these Diamond Dazzle Sticks, which is something you can throw in a purse. Basically, it's you twist it, the jewelry cleaner comes up, and it's a little brush. You brush it on, rinse it with water, and it makes things sparkle up. So if you're traveling, this is a great way to keep your jewelry looking nice. So a couple of quick do's and don'ts. If you have any questions, of course, you're always welcome to come in and see us. And once again, one of the most important things, if you don't know, trust your jeweler. Come in and get to know us, and we're happy to help.